Hello all, welcome back to our channel Happy Mom Crazy Kids. So we are back with another episode of our Happy Parenting 100. This is episode 12. In our last episode, we were talking about how to identify anxiety in children. So a few of our subscribers had messaged me asking, Madam, what is wrong with being anxious? So I just want to, reassure certain things before we move to the video, which is going to talk about how to deal with anxiety. But before that, please do like, share and subscribe to our channel, and please do click the bell icon so that you will get continuous notifications every time we post a new video. See, being anxious is very important. As a part of growing up, anxiety is very, very important. But being over anxious leads to psychological disturbances. So we are talking about over anxious children, which this type of anxiety actually causes a disturbance in the child's behavioral pattern. So last time in our video, I had mentioned when is the red card. Actually, when is the time that you have to step in and help your child to deal with anxiety. Now, in today's video, I am going to tell you how all can you help your child in dealing with anxiety. Okay, so as parents, many a times, we get irritated with our child's over curiosity, right? There is a huge difference between being curious, being eager, being anxious, and the level which crosses over anxiety. So here are a few tips with which you can deal with your child's anxiety. Not every time, not every single problem you don't have to go to a child counselor or a child psychiatrist or a pediatrician to check on your child's behavior. Not necessary. Few things, few behavioral issues can be corrected at home. In fact, we child counselors give parents a lot of tips. In first sitting, we just analyze the child. Second and third sitting, it's more with the parents than with the child for us. We just call the child to see the development. Because, how much ever suggestions we give, it's just going to be the half an hour or 1 hour that we meet the child. But ultimately, it's you parents who are going to sit at home, deal with them, talk to them, help them come out of all their issues. So many a times, all our solutions are more parent oriented, and we design a structure, a therapy, a method. We come up with solutions which will be easy for parents to put into practice. So that way the child will pick it up easily. So coming back to the anxiety, when you see a red card, the moment you realize your child is over anxious, your child has got sleeping disturbances, your child has got eating disturbances, and your child is too curious, your child has picked up a lot of negative thoughts and stuffs. So I mentioned that is a red card where you have to actually, pitch in to help your child. How do you start helping your child, Initially, many parents do this mistake. They don't let the child express their feeling. Never do that. Please let your child express the feelings, but don't empower those feelings. Just give your child that free hand, to express the feelings. Never empower it, but only when you allow them to express, you will know the depth. Even if they're talking something negative, you will know the depth of negativity. If they're talking about a fear, only if you let them express, you will understand the depth of their fear. So, first point is you have to let them express, okay? Secondly, I wouldn't say this is secondly. This is somewhere related to the first point only. Don't just eliminate the anxiety from the child. All you have to do is to teach the child to manage it. So the first part of the point is you will let your child express it. The second part of this point is you will help your child manage anxiety. We are not just trying to eliminate anxiety, because a part of being anxious is also a part of childhood. Only when the child is anxious, only when the child is curious, the child will end up finding new things. The child will be, very actively involved in finding various things, involvement with friends, doing a lot of activities. So being anxious is also different. All we are talking about is being over anxious. So help your child deal with it. Don't help your child to eliminate it. Okay, the next point. Don't just avoid a topic just because your child is anxious. Many cases parents do this. Some parents have even expressed personally to me during counseling sessions that, madam, this guy gets very curious about this, so we just avoid talking about it. No, that is a wrong way. If you avoid, how long can you keep avoiding? See, for example, children go to school, they meet with friends, they meet with other parents, they meet with teachers, they get to meet with their seniors. They have their own circle out of the house. So how long can you prevent talking a specific topic? As a parent, yes, you will have some limits. How long can you prevent talking about a topic? So you should not avoid the topic. Instead, you should know how to convey it to the child. How nicely can you convey it? And the limitations really play a part here. How much has to be conveyed about it, so that your child doesn't get very curious, but your child has an idea. Because once you start curbing it off completely, your child becomes over curious. So it is a problem. And next point is, we need to talk about realistic stuffs. Just because your child gets anxious, please do not talk about stuffs that don't exist. Don't bring in fictitious parts here. Just talk about realistic stuffs. This will encourage the child to talk more, to express more, and it will help you understand the depth of their anxiety, the depth of their fear. So it is very easy for you to bring your child out of it. So only talk positive stuffs. Do not fictionize things when you understand that your child is over anxious. And one big mistake that I find parents do is asking leading questions. So yes, asking questions are very important. But there's a difference between asking questions, like being interrogative, and being leadingly interrogative. So I would request the parents to be interrogative but not be leadingly interrogative. Do not ask leading questions. Leading questions are not taking you or your child anywhere. Instead, it is just going to add up to your child's fears. Just ask normal questions. Let me give you an example. The difference between a leading question and a normal question. For some reason, your child is super anxious to open a box. So, how do you express this to your child? How do you instead put it in words to your child? Are you anxious about opening this box? This is a leading question. Instead, frame your questions this way. How are you feeling to open this box? It's a very positive interrogation. Always, encourage positive interrogation when you interact with children. Do not ask leading questions. Are you anxious? Are you scared? Are you scared from inside? Are you worried? Are you going to cry? No. Just ask them, how are they feeling? Allow them to express. This will make parenting very easy, because even if they are not anxious, or even if they are not worried or feared, maybe sometimes for exams, are you worried about your exams? If we parents go and ask them, are you worried about your exams? Even if they are not worried, they may have a fear. For nothing, the child would have studied well and all. But unnecessarily, we shouldn't give them leading pointers. We should only encourage positive pointers. So, even with interrogations and interrogative interactions, positive affirmations, positive interrogations play a very important role. Please do not ask leading questions specifically to a super anxious child or a normally anxious child also. Okay? And do not reinforce fears. So sometimes your child gets very expressive and your child comes and tells you, yes, I am super anxious about it. So do not reinforce, asking your child again, are you worried? Are you anxious? Are you going to do this? Oh no, you already mentioned you're going to do this. You already mentioned you're anxious. No, that is not the way. You know what? That is not the right way for parenting, and that is not what your child is, expecting from you also. Instead, stand as a supportive pillar, because ultimately, child is anxious, your child is sad, your child is happy, your child is worried, everything. Your child has got some pain, your child has made some achievement. That little soul is just going to run to you, come and share, express. So, just welcome your child with open arms. Every time they want to talk something, have open ears. Be ready to listen to what they say. Do not reinforce fears. Okay? And one most important thing, something that has always worried me about the present generation is lack of tolerance. And I keep, insisting parents ki, please inculcate some tolerance in children, because this generation children, two things that I see: lack of gratitude and lack of tolerance. This generation children, they don't have gratitude. How much our parents do, whatever they do, they either fail to express their gratitude or they have zero gratitude within themselves to be shown also. So the same is applicable for anxiety also. Teach them to tolerate anxiety. It doesn't come overnight. You just can't tell them, come go drink a glass of water, now your anxiety is tolerated. No, it doesn't happen like that. Nothing in parenting happens overnight. Everything depends on habit formation. Everything is a process. Parenting itself is a process. So I keep mentioning this. Nothing happens overnight. Everything comes only by practice. Same is the case with tolerance also. So most importantly, teach your child to tolerate anxiety. It's okay to be anxious, but it is not okay to be super anxious. Where does the difference really come? The tolerance. Tolerance plays a very important part. So just tell your child, comfort your child. Come child, sit with me. I understand you're anxious, but just calm down, just slow down. Just express and explain to your child, rather more than expressing, you can explain to your child the problems of being over anxious, and teach tolerance to your child. Please teach tolerance. Parents of this generation, please, it's a kind request, because many of you just give things over the table. It's just a minute's wait or less than a minute's wait for kids these days. They do not have tolerance at all. Teach tolerance to your children. Teach them how important patience is. It is important to wait. They should learn to wait. They should learn to be tolerant. They should learn to be, they should learn to have good acceptance. And that is when they can be really friendly. Same holds good for anxiety also. Teach them to tolerate anxiety. Once they do all this, they can very easily manage anxiety. So parental part, it is very simple. Give them open space to express. Be very careful on what they are hearing. Teach them tolerance and put it into practice. It's not just enough you tell them once, okay, tolerate your anxiety, and next day morning you expect your child is going to come and tell you, I have tolerated all my anxiety and I have become normal. No, it doesn't happen like that. Everything comes with practice. And even the questions you ask, please ask positive, interrogative, affirmative interrogations. Do not ask leading questions. Don't cut off their fears. Don't just simply avoid a topic just because they are anxious. Talk and find a solution. Dealing with anxiety is a bit difficult, but definitely possible. In our next video, I'll come up with some interesting topic in our Happy Parenting 100 series. Thank you so much for watching. Please do share and support us.